Guys, welcome back to my YouTube video. Today we are going to solve all 15 riddles and you outsmart me.
Was in her hotel room when she heard a knock on the door. When she looked through the peephole, she saw a man standing outside. "Sorry for bothering you. I'm the hotel manager," he said. "Our database has crashed and I need to recheck some information." Sarah said she would be back in a moment, got away from the door and called the hotel security. She said there is a man trying to rob her. How did she know?
I know why. The little the ticket on her, on him, is a girl, and he does not look like a girl.
Look at the man's name tag. It's a female name.
You guys get it?
He's not the real hotel manager.
Nope.
When Anna got to school, she noticed that her friend Joan was very upset. It was just the beginning of the day, but someone had already stolen her backpack. Joan left the classroom to go to the bathroom, and at that moment, someone must have got inside and stolen her things. Anna started her own investigation. Jenna from the robotics lab said she'd been fixing a robot that morning. Kate from the cheerleading squad had just begun her practice, and James said he'd spent 3 hours trying to solve a math problem and was now exhausted. Anna knew right away who had taken the backpack. Can you figure it out?
Well, I think it was a boy, because while he spent 3 hours on a math test, I'm not too sure though.
It was James. The school day had just started. How could he have been there for 3 hours already?
I actually didn't know.
On a beautiful morning, Michael and Christina went on a hike. At some point, they saw a river they had to cross. Both of them needed to get to the other side. However, the boat could only make one trip back and forth and take one of them at a time. Still, both of them managed to get across. How?
I'm not sure about this one. I just started to see. Okay, so there's a log near it. I'm not sure.
That's easy. They both went on a hike on the same day, but they weren't together. So they arrived at the river at the same time, but they were on the opposite banks. So after the boat took Christina to the other side of the river, Michael managed to get to the opposite bank too.
Yes.
At a party, there were 9 candies in a box. 9 people took 9 candies, but 1 candy was still in the box. How could that be possible?
9 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe 2 of them took a half?
The last person took the candy that was still in the box. When the day after tomorrow becomes yesterday, then today will be as far from Sunday as the day it was today when the day before yesterday was tomorrow. Which day is it?
Wait, what? When the day after tomorrow becomes yesterday?
It's Sunday. Look, the day after tomorrow becomes yesterday on Wednesday. The day before yesterday was tomorrow on Thursday. And Wednesday and Thursday are equally far from Sunday. Susanna was walking down the street when she saw a dog. It looked like the dog had just run away, so she picked it up and started searching for its owner. She walked into a co-working space.
She has like
there were 3 people there.
Something on her.
Susanna knew immediately who the owner was. How did she figure it out?
Probably the middle guy, because he has a chain.
Look at the guy in the middle. He's sitting on top of a dog leash. It was Brian's birthday, and he organized a game for his friends. He placed 2 cards, 1 yellow and 1 red, inside a box. The rule said that if a person picked the red card, they would win $7,000. But if they picked the yellow card, they would have to pay $700. Nobody knew that Brian had lied. He'd put 2 yellow cards inside the box instead of 1 red and 1 yellow. Brian's friend Sandra watched her friends lose the game one by one. But when it was Sandra's turn, she won $7,000. How?
Okay. So what happened? He put 2 yellow ones in only. Maybe she put a red one in. Let's go back
Brian
a bit.
had lied. He'd put 2 yellow cards inside the box instead of 1 red and 1 yellow. Brian's friend Sandra watched her friends lose the game one by one. But when it was Sandra's turn, she won $7,000. How?
I actually don't know that. Let's find out. if you guys knew this one, just comment down #2 and the answer.
When it was her turn, she picked one of the yellow cards, not showing it to anyone. Then she picked the remaining card, which was also yellow, and showed it to her friends. Brian had to admit that the first card she'd drawn and hidden was red. Otherwise, all his friends would know he was a liar. Way to go, Sandra.
Scan your tickets with the My Maccas app for more chances to win with the Monopoly game at Macca's.
Social media that's free from hate?
So good, we are
Way to go, Sandra. Amy has to escape from a high-security room, but to do so, she has to solve a riddle. There are 2 strings in the room, and the only information she has is that each string takes exactly 1 hour to burn. She needs to time exactly 45 minutes with the help of the strings. How can she do it?
I'm not sure this one. Maybe use the door for something?
Amy should light both ends of the first string and one end of the second string. In 30 minutes, the first string will burn completely, since it'll burn twice faster with both ends on fire. Then, she should light the second end of the second string. At that time, the second string will have 30 minutes left to burn. But by lighting its other end, Amy will make it burn in 15 minutes. Voila! 45 minutes measured. On January 1st, Devin called the police to report a crime. He said he'd gone to his neighbor's New Year's Eve party the night before. And while he was away, someone broke into his house and stole his laptop and other valuables. When the police asked about the party, Devin said it had been great. There was good food and string lights were shining brightly and beautifully. Devin added that his neighbor could have been the one to steal his things. Maybe he snuck inside the house when Devin was at his place, having fun. The police officer went to interrogate Devin's neighbor, Tom. But as soon as Tom opened the door, the officer knew he wasn't guilty. Devin was lying. How did he understand this?
Because I had the next neighbor's party.
Look at the string lights on the tree. They're missing 3 bulbs. It means they couldn't be working the night before. Devin is lying. Matthew was on an expedition to the South Pole. He had been exploring the area for days when a storm began. Looking for shelter, he managed to find 2 caves. In the first cave, there was a very hungry-looking polar bear. In the second cave, the air was filled with toxic gas. Which cave should he choose?
Probably the gas one.
The first cave. Polar bears don't live at the South Pole. Jerry has an apple tree. The number of apples on his tree doubles every week. 30 weeks later, the tree is completely covered in fruit. Can you guess how many weeks the tree will need to become covered in oranges?
I'm gonna say 3 weeks.
Oranges don't grow on apple trees, but if I asked you about apples, the answer would be 29 weeks, because, as we know, the number of apples doubles every week.
Yeah, it does. Too.
Nobody has ever walked this way. What way is it?
The right way? No, the left way, because the right is the right way to go.
The Milky Way. Dave was held in a 150-foot high tower of an ancient castle. In his cell, there was nothing other than a pair of scissors and a 75-foot long rope. Despite this, when the guards came to check on him the next morning, they saw he had managed to escape. How did he do it?
He probably used the scissors to cut some of the string.
He cut the rope in the middle, but rather than cutting it across, he cut it along. Then, he tied both pieces of the rope together and safely got down to the ground. Genius, huh? On the outskirts of the town, there was a haunted house. A group of friends decided to check it out. They went there at night, but as soon as they got there, one of the friends, John, refused to go inside and tried to stop the others. But they just laughed at him and went inside, leaving him behind. There were several terrible crashing sounds coming from the house. And then everything went still. John never saw his friends again. How did John understand that there was something seriously wrong with the house?
Windows.
John was very attentive. He noticed that there were lots of footprints leading towards the house, but none going away. Rachel was in her office when security called her, saying there was a robber in the building and he was trying to escape. She ran to the elevators to get outside. But 2 elevators arrived at the same time. In each of them, there was a man that looked suspicious and could be the robber. How can Rachel understand which elevator is safe to take?
The green shirt one, because it says down one.
The one that's going up. If the robber is trying to get out of the building, his elevator will be going down. So Rachel should take the one going up.
Anyway,
That's
guys,
it.
hope you guys liked that video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and I'll see you next time. Bye.